need to acknowledge right now that right now it's incumbent upon you to accept the truth. There's no excuse right now. You know that. I could tell from your body language. I'm telling you that. You are convinced that there's only one God. You're convinced that Jesus is not God. You're convinced that Jesus is the messenger of God, and you're convinced that there's only one Quran. Now, all of your tactics, all of that is not going to work. You've done that. But all of the Muslims, alhamdulillah, we've all refuted that. Many Christians have become Muslims in Speaker's Corner, right?
Yeah.
If your claim is, if it has any strong claims here, why don't you see Muslims leaving Christianity? Sorry, Muslims leaving Islam. Why do you see more Christians accepting Islam?
Because they don't study their book.
What do you mean they don't study? Do you know there was a study done in Edinburgh University. On average, we're not talking about laymen, we're talking about educated academic individuals. 7 years they study Islam on average. It's from Edinburgh University. Don't say, oh, they're blind, they're sheep, they don't know what they signed up to. No, they study Islam for more than 5 years, 7 years on average.
And did they verify the history?
Verified history
of Islam?
Hang on, I'm saying they studied Islam.
Yes, and did they?
Everything.
Okay. Okay, and they gave an indication of how they verified the history of it.
Educated.
Oh yeah, how did they do it?
How did they do it?
How did they verify the history?
I'm not saying how. I'm saying that studies have proven people who accepted Islam, they went through intensive study.
Yes.
Intensive study. I don't know what they studied. They studied about the Quran, they studied about the Hadith, they studied about Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, they studied about the concept of God in Islam, and everything made sense. 7 years. 7 years. You have someone like Professor Raymond Farah, an English professor who mastered the Arabic language to test the claim of the Quran. What's the claim that the Quran means? We want to be able to produce a surah like it. He tested the Quran. There's a challenge, the inimitable Quran. Exactly.
If you have a doubt concerning what was given to our Messenger Muhammad,
he's giving you direct quotation. Yeah, we're not pulling up the fast one. He himself, as an English professor, mastered the Arabic language, and he says, and then he wrote a book afterwards, the complexity, the coherency of the Quran. He said that the structure, the complexity of the Quran, it cannot have been the work of a human being. He accepted Islam. So, alhamdulillah. I'm talking about Professor Raymond Farah.
Michael.
Studied.
All right. So he did all that studying, but. Do you know if when he read Surah 61:14, did he read the last line?
No. Now what you're doing is I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
What you're doing is you're now sidetracking. You're using all these tactics, it's just not working. What I'm saying to you right now, I'm talking about educated individuals, not some layman individuals. I'm talking about people who are willing to challenge the Quran. They accepted Islam, like Professor Raymond Farah. Now you study what the Quran claimed. You try and challenge it. You go and bring Arab professors. Go and bring Oriental professors, tell them you meet the challenge of the Quran, they will never be able to tell you.
No, just bring a history book.
No, I'm saying this is the claim of the Quran.
Yeah.
And if the Quran fails the challenge, that Quran can never be the word of God. And until now, 1400 years, nobody replicated a surah, not a single individual in history. Imagine the Arabic literature, the language of the Arabic language was at its peak at the time of the Prophet, peace be upon him. When the Quran was revealed, 5 of the greatest poets, they heard the recitation. Do you know what they said? They said, this is sihr. This is magic. Why did they say magic? Because they know that this is not ordinary, this is supernatural. But they can't explain it.
Show it to him. When was he going to bring out that?
This is historically very
Look at it. What are you going to bring out of that?
So how can a man like Muhammad
No, his. And they became up on it. Yeah, I read the verse. I'm asking him to quote it. He's the one. Oh, he's gone praying.
Give him his phone. Whose phone is this?
No, it must be him.
Okay, take your phone, please.
Allah bless Saudi Arabia! Allah bless Iran!
So you already clarified this. You already clarified 16:14, right? You'll bring it up again. What I'm saying to you right now, you know that Muhammad, peace be upon him, is a true prophet. You know that. You test the claim. Was Muhammad lying? Was he deceiving the people? Was he deluded, or was he speaking the truth? If you can give me a fifth one, then let's entertain it. If it's
Well,
not his fault,
all right. So you're saying about all these intellectual people who became Muslims. All right. So when if you read Surah 1886 to them, I think it is, would they give a proper explanation?
1886, I know.
Yeah, would they give a proper explanation?
Right, you're talking about the Zulkarnain, right?
Yeah, would they? So they would.
Do you know the meaning of the word wajada in Arabic?
Bear with me. Let me ask a question. If I may, what's your understanding of that verse or those verses?
Well,
What's your understanding?
well, it's just what Allah said. He says that Zulkarnain went somewhere and then he found somewhere with the sun set in a murky spring.
Could you bring the verse up, please?
Yeah. Okay.
The sun was set. Can you see when the sun was setting? The sun is set, like he entered into the mud. Just what he's trying to claim. Well, when the sun is setting, no one can know where it's going to set.
There's an easy explanation about it.
What he's claiming,
Very
what he's
easy.
claiming that he's set on the mud.
Let him bring us here. Let's see. Shall we become Muslim?
Yeah. Okay.
Once we refute all of your contention, shall we go to
All right. So this is 1883, and they ask you about Zulkarnain, saying, "I will recite to you about him a report. Indeed, we established him upon the earth, and we gave him to everything away. So he followed away until when he found the setting of the sun, he found it setting in a spring of dark mud, and he found near it a people. Allah said, O Zulkarnain, either you punish them or else adopt among them a way of goodness."
Right. So that dark what?
Well, it says dark mud here.
Mud. No, it's not mud.
Right.
It's something watery.
Okay. Well, some say murky spring.
The translation. Okay, no problem. The tafsir, exegesis of the dark spring or the dark mud. Do you know what they've hypothesized it as being? The Black Sea.
Right.
Now, what they're saying is, if you look at the Black Sea is called black because it's very dark and murky.
Yeah.
Now, if you and I were stood here on the beach, on the shoreline, and we were looking at the Atlantic Ocean or any ocean, so from the right to the left, we have ocean. And the sun was setting. Are you with me?
Yeah.
And the sun was setting. Now it looks like the sun is setting into the ocean, does it not?
Yeah.
So from his perspective, which is given from his perspective, the sun is setting into the ocean. It's not physical, it's not literal,
Right.
it's a perception.
Right.
So when we say the sun sets to the west, that's from our perception.
Yeah.
The sun sets to the west. From our perception. Yeah? If we were on the International Space Station, the sun would not be setting from the west, would it?
Yeah.
So if I look at the Tower of London, do you understand? And I say the sun is setting
yeah.
behind the Tower of London,
Yeah.
does that mean literally it hides behind the Tower of London and stays there?
No.
No. So it's just giving you a sign of perception. That's all it's doing.
That's
Right.
what Arabic would mean, wajada.
Now if you look at the tafsir, the way they interpret the muddy spring is they say this is the Black Sea. To
Right.
try and give us an understanding of the geographical location of that time.
Yeah.
So it was setting where the Black Sea was.
Right. So you so what you essentially saying, it sounds like, is that Allah is unclear, because you'd think that he.
Allow him to finish.
No. So you're saying that this verse, when you read it, it's unclear, and we have to interpret it differently from what the text says. That's what you're saying.
What does the text say?
It says in, and you know what you're saying about the word for Arabic for the dark sea. But is there a word for Arabic in the Arabic? No, does it say in? You know, if you go to the Arabic. So see, because if what you're saying was true, then the Arabic word in wouldn't be there.
So you're saying it's a literal translation, a literal meaning.
Well, isn't that supposed to be how Allah does things?
No. What you're saying is the way you interpret that verse.
Right.
From my understanding, thank you, brother. From my understanding, there was never an interpretation from scholarly Islam to say that the sun literally set or descended into that muddy spring.
Right.
Literally. There was no, that interpretation was never held. So what I'm saying is, right now, this is your interpretation. And what you're doing is, to a certain extent, you're trying to superimpose your individual interpretation into the Islamic scholarly understanding.
Right. So, you're saying that you have your interpretation.
Yep.
Yeah, it says feet.
Yeah, but how many fees are there?
Oh, okay.
How many fees are there?
What do you mean?
I'll give you an example. So, this is the problem with translations. Look, in terms of fee, there's various meanings of the word fee in terms of in.
Right.
The meaning you're taking it from it is literal in, like you dunk a biscuit into a cup of tea.
Okay.
Literally in. So fee does not always mean literal.
Right.
So if I say the word from, min. Right. So there's hadith saying fast from min, the month of Shawwal. Okay? So that can be understood from the month itself, min Shawwal. Okay? Or from the month of Shawwal all the way over every other single month until you reach Shawwal again.
Right. So
understand? So not always a literal meaning is to be taken.
Right. So what other way can you interpret that then?
It's as simple as this.
Yeah.
So it says, until when he reached the setting of the sun, in the west he found it as if, right, sorry. Can you see in brackets? Right. So reached the setting of the sun, in brackets. In the west he found it, in brackets, as if setting in the body of dark water. Now that as if is not literally found in the Quran in Arabic. It's in brackets to add further explanation to the meaning of that passage. Now, if we as Muslims took that understanding as literal, like a biscuit being dunked into a cup of tea, the Quran, in terms of the English translation, would not have as if in brackets. It would be a given. There would be no need to say as if. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
So with the translation, putting the meaning in as if shows, from an Islamic standpoint, we do not understand it to be literally the sun setting into the murky dark water as dunking a digestive biscuit into a cup of tea.
Right.
It's not literal. Because if it was literal, the words in brackets as if would not be in there.
Yeah.
It denotes to the fact that it's not literal.
Okay, so, but what did, you said give me the interpretation of the scholars. So what did your number one scholar, your prophet, say about that particular verse?
What's my number one scholar, the prophet?
Yeah, your prophet, Muhammad, what did he say about that verse?
I don't know.
Alright, so let's get there.
No. He's going to bring a hadith with a sahih isnad, but the matan, the meaning of it, is disputed. It's disputed.
Right. So who disputes it then?
اقول لك شيء ليه وجهك قلب اصفر عادي قصرت عليك عادي يقول لي وجهك قلب بيدك المخبار هذا من علامات توسل بيدك المخبار.
Okay, so it's Sunan Abu Dawud Book 32 Hadith 3991. It says, narrated Abu Dar, I was sitting behind the Messenger of Allah, who was riding a donkey while the sun was setting. He asked, do you know where this sets? I replied, Allah and his apostle know best. he said it sets it in a spring of warm water.
ترى مو مهم هو يعني اسحبك هويه
So I suppose you're hoping it's da'if, but you know it isn't already.
So what does it say to you? What does it say?
What's that? The ref?
Yeah, what does it say? So is it sahih?
No, no,
Or is it,
no, 32.
what is it?
No, I'll get it for you.
So what you'll find is, you'll find this hadith,
Yeah,
you'll find multiple narrations in relation to this hadith.
right.
This is the only hadith that says the sun was setting in the spring of warm water.
Yeah, there is a reference.
Look, that hadith is da'if. It has Ibn al-Hakam. Ibn al-Hakam is a
Da'if?
liar. Okay,
You
he's
sure?
finished.
Da'if.
Look, you
sure?
just found they put for you has
So it's weak.
sahih.
You sure?
Where is sahih?
What does it say?
It's not sahih.
What does
It's
it
the
say?
matan.
Yes.
Sahih in
Yeah, it's not
Chain.
chain, but
Yes.
the metan,
Matan is not sahih.
the chain is, but the content of the wording is not agreed upon, because there are similar hadiths in relation to this where the setting of the sun in warm water is not mentioned.
Right.
This is the only one.
Yeah.
They say this sahih because a person he told it to a person, and between them there is a liar who adds this word. That's why they say to you they say to you is sahih in isnad, but it's not sahih in the matan. That words they are not coming from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
All right, but if you look at this hadith, there's actually a part where it says report errors. So has anyone reported the error to this page?
What verse and
No, 1886.
can you find 36? Can you find 36? So there's various isnad for this hadith. So like I said, thank you. So if you look at this particular hadith, this is for this particular hadith. So if you look at this particular hadith, there's various chains of narration.
Right.
So the one you're referring to is one particular chain, emanating from Hakam ibn Utayba, which is this one. Right. So if you look at all of these others, you would not find the setting of the sun in water.
Right.
Did you find 36, 38? Do you understand? So this is the only hadith which mentions the setting.
Right. But if you're saying that there's such a problem with this hadith, why hasn't it been removed? Why hasn't it been
Because
changed?
what we do,
Yeah.
as you know, you're familiar with the term, generally speaking, the term da'if. You're familiar with the term da'if.
Yeah.
You're familiar with the term, generally speaking, of hasan.
Yeah.
You're generally familiar with the term sahih.
Yeah.
So what we do, as you know, you will know this.
Well, not all of it.
No,
but just some. Yeah.
You know this in terms of, we have hadith which are totally fabricated, and we hold on to them, and we have them in books, but they're identified as being totally fabricated.
Yeah.
We hold on to hadith that say, oh, this is weak, this is hasan, this is sahih. So there's a whole science about it.
Yeah.
Okay? But each hadith is given its criteria in terms of how it's understood and analysed, and whether it's whatever grading it has. Just because something's weak or fabricated, we don't disregard it. We still retain it and record it
Yeah.
as being that and identified as what grading it has.
Right. But here's the thing, though. I know obviously this. Yeah, so I know these gradings, they're basically handled by scholars, your scholars. So if there was a consensus, a majority, that it was da'if, then wouldn't it be removed from this prominent Muslim website? No, but if it's da'if, then that means the rating's wrong.
Sorry, what was that?
No, but this is a prominent website though. So if there's a problem with it, and the consensus is that it's da'if, then the rating should be changed.
In what sense?
No, because you're saying it's da'if. So if that's what its rating is,
I never
then
said
it.
that.
Okay. All right. So it's sahih.
What I'm saying, if that particular website you're looking at,
Yeah.
it says the chain is sahih,
Yeah.
given by whom? Al-Albani. So Al-Albani's opinion is that the chain is sahih.
Yeah.
Okay. What we're saying is the contents of the hadith itself differs from the other hadith so there's identical hadiths, but this is the only one that says that the sun rises or descends into warm water.
But
Basically, even if it's Sahih, what's your name?
Michael.
So imagine 6 people say Michael said one thing, and I'm the only one who said Michael said another thing. Who would you believe? You'd have to choose the 6 over the one.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Right. Oh yeah, you understand. But then.
So the narration, although it looks more or less complete, okay, the majority said Michael did not say this. Michael said something else.
Right.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah. So those other. Do you actually know what those other hadiths are?
Yeah, I've got the narration here. You can take a screenshot.
All right. No, but does it say what the ratings for the other ones are? Does it? Are they all the other ones you're saying?
Yeah,
Are they?
So it started with these 3 names, okay?
Yeah.
And then from this person, Ibrahim bin Yazid al-Taymi, he was transmitted to 6 people.
Right.
So 5 of them said he said one thing. And this is the only chain that said I did the wadi puddle.
Right.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
And even then, this person, Al-Hakam ibn Utayba, said, I heard it that apparently he said. He didn't say I hear it directly from this, apparently. Do you understand? So
Yeah,
it's complete, but there is a small gap, okay, which says I didn't hear it directly from Michael, but I heard Michael said X, Y, Z. And then you have 5 other people who said, we heard it directly from Michael, he said this thing. Did you get it?
Right.
So you would have to go out of your way to choose this one.
On its own, this one's
and disregard the other.
Look, Michael, this one, in terms of the setting of the sun, only this one reports it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5 other hadith, with various other chains, do not mention that.
Oh yeah, I understand that, but.
And they said they had it directly. And Ibrahim bin Yazid.
Yeah, I understand.
He said I heard. Apparently he said.
Right, I know what you're saying, but the thing about it is that if what you're saying is the case, which I'm sure it is, but it looks to me, yeah, I know, but it looks to me as if your scholars have some sort of disagreement, because if they was unanimous, then this hadith would have been re-rated. It wouldn't be on sunnah.com as sahih.
The thing is, first of all, you're using Sheikh Al-Albani, okay? Who came in the 90s.
Right.
But even then, the reason why I probably said it's sahih because look, the chain is complete.
Right.
With one missing tiny gap only, which is I heard apparently Michael said X, Y, Z, do you understand?
Yeah.
And the majority of the hadith is the same as the rest anyway, except that small addition.
Yeah, I know.
This is Chinese whispers where you don't hear it directly from the individual, and already we're noticing one thing has been added that none of the rest have. Now let's assume it was heard directly from him. You tell 5 people I like to eat beef, okay? And 5 people report Michael likes beef, and one person says Michael said he likes chicken. So I'm making an announcement now today in Speaker's Corner. And everybody hears me saying one thing, and only one person anomaly says that they heard me say something else. Even so, the chain is correct, the link is there, but who would you say you'd assume maybe he misheard it? At best.
Yeah. So then, what would you do?
You'd follow what the majority says.
Yeah, but then what would? Yeah, but then what?
Can I just answer this? This hadith, very quickly, this hadith is found in Bukhari and Muslim.
Oh yeah, the one talking about the throne. You mean?
No, this hadith about the sun setting.
Yeah, but it sits under the throne rather than in the pool.
No.
Yeah, I know those ones.
So,
yeah.
What do you mean?
No, the Bukhari and Muslim ones only talk about it going under the throne.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the highest standard. That's why he wasn't qualified to be in Al-Bukhari. That's the point. Because of that small gap that I mentioned.
Yeah, but
No.
even by
From my understanding, there's multiple versions of this particular hadith
yeah,
which doesn't mention the sun setting in warm spring.
I know.
Are
but-
you saying it talks about the throne instead?
Yeah, it doesn't mention.
No, that's Bukhari and Muslim.
So you're saying it mentions the throne instead of the spring?
Yeah, it's the same one where it's Abu Dar, and I think it's a donkey as well. Yeah, but it just says it goes under the
Throne. So the throne is substituted for the spring.
Well, remember, I'm not a Muslim. I'm just saying.
No, I'm asking
not,
you from your understanding.
Yeah, just from what I.
So what were we saying is this hadith is not being qualified to be put in Sahih Muslim or Bukhari,
Yeah.
okay? And the throne has been substituted for the spring.
Yeah.
Now, out of all 5 or 6 hadiths that mention the throne, this is the only one that talks about it setting in a warm spring.
Yeah, but I don't know if you can see. I don't know if this is the truth, but I can see an obvious reason why this hadith wouldn't have been downgraded. Because the other hadiths don't agree with there's nothing in the Quran about them, but this hadith agrees with the Quran. So this is actually a stronger hadith because it agrees with the Quran.
It
does.
Look, in what sense?
No,
The Quran says he appeared to the Qur'an.
it doesn't say. Does it say appear in Arabic? In Arabic,
Yes, in Arabic it does.
what's Arabic?
Yes.
Hmm?
Yes, it's very clear.
All right, let's find out then. Let's see which Arabic word.
English and Arabic is the same.
All right, let's see which.
There's no difference.
Let's see
You're
which.
trying to put something that's not there.
All right, so let's try and find this Arabic word you're saying.
Brother, you have the answer. It's the Sunan Al-Bukhari. The Quran says he appeared to the Qur'an. It's very simple. You're making something else.
No, but I'm trying to find this Arabic word for appeared, isn't it? So let's see if we can find it. These guys are so desperate to get back to the Bible, isn't it? They want to run away from the Quran, man.
Brother, I think you've got an answer.
No, I want to see. I want to check on this website, which gives. Let's see if you can find this appeared. Have you ever heard of a website, IslamAwaken.com?
I don't know, but I've got the Quran here. It's an hard copy. It's in English. You can read it yourself. And Arabic.
Yeah.
You can record it on your camera. Let the viewers see.
I'm not worried about the viewers.
Is that your only contention, right?
Huh?
Is that your only contention?
What's that?
Just this topic.
No, but it's because. Yeah, but remember, you ran away from the crucifixion, so that's why you. All right, so what's you said that you said there's a word for it seemed as if he found it. All right, so what's the Arabic? What's the Arabic word? Wajadaha. Yeah. A spring. Yeah, he found it, but he found it doing what? Yeah.
That's what appeared to him.
Does it say the sun, St. Mercury, or he found it? So there's a difference.
Yes.
No. What?
Look, you've missed
No. I've got the Arabic word by word here.
You're not comprehending. Does it say that the sun, St. Mercury, or does it say he found it?
No. It says he found it
That's your answer, brother.
setting in.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how he found it.
That's how he found
Yeah.
That's how it appeared to him.
Yeah. So the Prophet said the same thing in Sunan Abu. That's what he said in Sunan Abu Dawud.
The majority said he didn't mention it.
Do you not understand, Michael? Bear with me. Do you not understand? The other 5 hadith talk about the throne of Allah.
Yeah.
This singular hadith, which talks about its setting,
Agrees with the Quran.
no, the confusion was it came from this surah
Yes.
and it was
So
implanted.
yeah. So what's wrong with that?
That's where the confusion lies.
Yeah.
The person got confused about the setting. It's setting by the throne.
Yeah,
By the setting of the throne, got confused with this verse of the Quran and incorporated into the hadith. So that's why all the hadith neglect that and go with the original narration, which was the throne of Allah. And this particular hadith, which you're talking about, gets confused and derives it from this verse of the Quran, which is why it stands alone. And secondly, none of the scholars saw this hadith as being authentic in understanding in relation to the sun literally setting into the muddy spring.
Right, so
none of them took this interpretation. If you get me a scholar of the tafsir and say, look, they literally thought, they took this fee as literally in. Tantamount to me getting a digestive biscuit and dipping it into a cup of tea. No scholar took this understanding which you're propagating. None. So you're trying to superimpose your understanding of this passage of the Quran, all the hadith, and to superimpose it within 1400 years of Islamic scholarship. Now, with all due respect, who are you? I'd rather go with Imam al-Asqalani rather than you.
So he says,
please, with all due respect.
Michael.
So he says this hadith is da'if then, I suppose.
Michael.
Forget about this idea.
Seriously.
Don't carry on with him. What we have to tell you now is how you be saved. We are not here to win, we want to save your soul.
Yeah, but you want me to believe about the muddy spring. So how can I get salvation from
I'm
a God?
not asking you. No one, Michael, with all due respect. Bear with me. Michael, with all due respect. No one is pointing to this verse asking you to believe that the sun literally set in a muddy spring of water.
Yes.
No, baby, no one is saying that. You're saying that. Not me. You're saying that. And you're trying to impose your literal understanding on Islamic scholarship, because Islamic scholarship never said we should take this literal understanding. You're saying that. And you're saying this is the true meaning. And guess what? I am unapologetic for my beliefs.
Right.
Bear with me. Listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I am unapologetic in my beliefs. Fundamentally, I will use my rationale of my mind to understand hadith or Quran. But fundamentally, sama'na wa atana. I am here and I obey. What I say is not to appease you. It's not to put bells and whistles on Islam to allow you to believe in it. What I say is what I believe to be true. Now, if I really believe this verse was literal, I would say, you know what? This is a literal verse. I don't understand it because it falls under the fundamental wisdom of Allah, of God. Some things we just cannot understand. But I'm not going to say that because I'm not apologetic to put the bells and whistles to bring you closer to Islam. No. I'm going to tell you the fact that scholars do not have this understanding of that verse, that the sun literally descends into the ocean, the muddy spring, like a biscuit into a cup of tea. We don't have that understanding.
Okay, but
does that make sense?
Okay, but
so personally, bear with me. Thank you for your patience. You've heard our explanation of it. Take it or leave it. It's up to you.
Right, but that would then mean that it'd be better for me staying with the Bible because of how clear it is. Because if Allah's this unclear, then what other verses?
Who's it unclear to?
He says in.
Who's it unclear to? Unclear to you.
Yeah.
Not to us.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say, yeah. But if you're so entrenched in your Bible, which you are, it's your choice. Yeah. You're not going to be clear-minded enough to listen to an explanation that Islamic scholarship holds thousands upon thousands of people or millions hold, for you to be stubborn to hold your singular opinion. What more can we say or do?
No, but the point.
What more can we say or do?
I know, but the point I'm trying to make is, if this is this unclear, then that means some scholar can come and deceive me some other way with the Quran.
Unclear in what sense?
So it's better for Allah to give a Quran that is clear and makes sense.
In what sense?
Well, so when it says in, it doesn't mean in. Yeah.
Do you want to explain to the methodology of how we understand it?
Don't waste time.
That,
What did Jesus say to you? What did Jesus say to you? What did Jesus say to you?
the Quran is
About your
fake.
salvation, what did Jesus
No,
say
no,
to you?
can I say something? No. Bear with me. Brother, bear with me. I'm gonna end it with this.
Okay.
Okay. Jews are monotheists, they believe in one God. Okay. So if you go to a Jew and he opens up, or the Jewish people, and you open up a Hebrew Bible, their Old Testament Bible, okay, and they're reading God's name that they can actually say, and they say Elohim.
Okay, but is it?
Bear with me. What is the him? Plural. Him, Elohim, is
Yeah.
putting plurality to the name of God. Yes? Okay. You ask the Jewish person, you're saying Elohim in terms of gods with an S, plural. What are you doing? You believe in one God. He will say the usage of my native Hebrew language, when we put the plurality at the end of the name of God, this is a plurality of majesty to ennoble God more so, like the Queen. This is cliche. Everyone's saying the Queen would sit in Parliament and say, "We are sitting in Parliament and we rubber stamp this statute law." Who's we? She's one Queen. There's only one Queen. So as the Jew would tell me, this says Elohim, plurality of gods. No, this is a plurality of majesty. We are only referring to the one true God of Israel. If I would look at it, the language, I would understand the language and I'd say, you know what, you have a point and I accept this and I agree with you. Just like you accept it in your Bible when it says Elohim, the one God, regardless of 3 and 1 or 1 or 3 if you do believe it. Fundamentally, the one God, and you accept that understanding of their language. Now, when we say fi, doesn't always necessarily mean literally within or in. You're refusing to take our understanding. You would accept it within the Hebrew language in relation to your Bible. In terms of we doesn't mean we means the one. But when we say in feed, does it mean in this instant, does it literally mean fee in, like a biscuit in a cup of tea? You're refusing to accept it.
Right. So,
There's nuances in language. There's nuances in language, Michael. That's what I'm
okay.
saying.
So what are you saying?
And scholarship does not say that fee is literal. Islamic scholarship doesn't say that. And like I said, I'm not here to I'm not here to appease you. I believe in what I believe. Okay? Now, I'm not going to make things up just to make things wishy-washy and put bells and whistles for you to believe it or understand it. I say it as it is.
Right. So why don't they fix this website then, which says in?
What website
I mean, it's
is
not
it?
a Christian website.
What website is it?
IslamAwakened.com.
Go to Lisan al-Arab. Go to the old classical works of the Arabic dictionaries.
Right.
Find fee and see the various meanings of fee.
Okay, so why doesn't someone write into this web?
So what the Islamic scholars have done, they've gone to the classical Arabic understanding of the word fee to understand the various meanings of it, and then obviously there may be athar, sayings of the companions or sayings of other people to understand this is the understanding that we've had of this verse. This is using the Arabic language, and of course looking at the understanding of the early scholars and the companions and the understanding that they may have had of it. Do you understand? So that's why we go to that understanding.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but then all of what you're saying, why don't they then fix these two websites?
What is this website you're talking about?
No, these are popular Muslim. They're not Christian websites. So if what you're saying is the case, then the scholars would have descended.
Did I not show you in the Quran? It said in brackets as if.
Yeah, but it's not in the Arabic.
Bear with me, because that understanding of the word fee in that instance is the understanding of it is as if. It's in the Quran. Look,
but then
I've showed him. You've seen it. It says as if it had the literal meaning, the translation of the Quran. If it had that literal understanding, when I showed you, it would not have as if.
All right.
It would not have it. So that as if is testament to the understanding not being literal.
Right.
Like Elohim plural is not literal. Now I think now You're disingenuous, my friend, Michael.
No, but
Totally disingenuous. I'm quoting to you scholars.
yeah,
I'm quoting to you dictionaries of classical Arabic, which I'm asking you to refer to. And with all due respect, you're holding a website to me,
yeah,
which I can't find. Islam Awakened.
yeah.
If they're Muslims, my God bless them for their work that they did.
Well, would you dare say they're not Muslims?
Okay, I never said that. I said if.
Yeah.
May God bless them for the works that they've done.
Yeah.
And through their intentions. I'm telling you, classical scholarship.
I know, but I'm just saying that if what you're saying is the case, someone should have fixed these two sites by now.
Fix what?
So that they say what you're saying rather than what they're saying. I'm reading here. Because look, no, because remember you're trying to invite me to Islam, but there's these sites which you don't seem to be able to fix. So you're saying that what they're saying isn't saying the right thing.
I don't. I'm an individual standing in the cold in Speaker's Corner. Bear with me. What authority do I have? I don't know this website.
No, that's fine. So what do you have to do?
You're talking about as the Muslims are some monolithic one body. Like there's one pope to say, fix the website, fix this, do. Where are you, dude? Like, really?
No.
Seriously.
No, but if what you're saying is the consensus, then it should be easy to fix.
Michael.
Yeah.
Please stop. Now you're telling me to go and find out who the authors of the website are and advise them to fix it.
Yeah, but remember, you're inviting me to Islam, so I'm saying,
what I'm telling
why
you
can't
to
they
do,
fix?
What I'm telling
You were.
What I've referred you to
Yeah.
is an explanation in the translation of the Quran when it said in brackets as if.
Yeah.
So that's testament to the understanding of fi-in is theoretical from a perspective as if. I've told you in your own Bible and with the Hebrew language, Elohim, meaning God's plural, is taken as one. It's a plural of respect to show you that a meaning of a word can have a different meaning from the initial assumption of the meaning that you have, the presumptive meaning that you have. I've referred you to say go and look at classical Arabic works, which will have translations, to understand the different meanings of fi. What different meanings and understandings of the word fi could have. Go and look at the tafsirs of the classical scholars in relation to the understanding of that verse. Did any one of them take it as literal or was it figurative, as I've showed you in the translation of the Quran, as if?
Yes, but
Go and do it.
I know, but here's the thing: you're telling me to do that, so why didn't these guys do it? Since they're supposed to be putting out a website to billions of Muslims.
Do you know what? This shows your desperation.
That's
You're holding a website,
Muslim website.
right? A Muslim website. Yeah. That is what? It's not an authority.
Yes, but they can't. Are they deceiving people though?
It's not an authority.
Yes.
Let me ask you this question: is Bible Gateway your authority?
We're talking about Islam. But why do you keep running away from? I thought you
No, Michael, let's be consistent and fair. Is Bible Gateway your authority? Is the NIV your authority, or the King James your authority, or the Catholic Bible your authority, or the Orthodox, Greek Orthodox Bible your authority, or the Ethiopian Orthodox Bible your authority? Do you want me to mention the whole of Christendom and their works and say, look at this, you're a Christian, so therefore this saying here, or just church father said this, or this said that? No, I'm not going to hold that. I'm not going to put the onus on you of this plethora of Christian works. I'm not going to do that. But you feel satisfied to do it. You know why? You are literally clutching at straws.
Yeah, okay.
Literally.
Okay, but you mentioned the Bible. So in the NIV, did they remove some verses from it in relation to the King James?
From my understanding, yes.
Yeah, so they did it. So why can't Muslims do stuff like that?
Who is the author of the NIV? Who are authors?
No, you're diverting now.
No, I'm not.
I'm asking,
who
why can't...
are the authors of the NIV?
It's a translation.
How many scholars of New Testament who knew ancient Greek at the time, who know Hebrew, who are experts in they're linguists, they're experts within language, ancient language, they're experts within theology and other aspects of the Christian understanding, who have looked at the oldest manuscripts that they have to hand and to sift through what's the most authentic to what's the least authentic, and they've compiled it in the book. We're talking about world-leading experts and their works has culminated in the NIV. You're holding me an anonymous website that I've never heard of.
Anonymous?
Can you not see the comparison?
Sure it's anonymous?
You're catching at straws, Michael.
You think it's anonymous?
How can you create the works and the scholarship behind the NIV to a website that you're holding that I personally never heard of?
No.
I am referring you, with all due respect, Michael, to the classical works of Arabic, to the classical tafsirs. Go and look at them and research them, which I know you do research, and I commend you on that. But go and research them.
So you're
Michael,
telling me?
Please.
So you're telling me this website is?
Oh my gosh.
All right. Do you want to hear the name? So are these guys scholars?
I don't know who they are.
So are they fake?
I don't know who they are.
Are they proper Muslims?
I do not know who they are.
So why don't you look up who they are to tell me if this website is wrong?
I promise you.
Yeah.
I will endeavour and do my best to look them up.
Okay.
If you go to the classical works of Arabic and understand the various meanings of fi, and go and look at the classical works of tafsir in relation to that verse to see if the understanding of the sun setting in a muddy spring is literal, like a biscuit in a cup of tea, or if it's as if, figuratively. If you do that, I'll do my research on the website. Yes? Yes?
But why should I?
Shake my hand. You got a glove. No, yes? Yes?
No, because
No! What do you mean no?
These guys have done
Why
the work.
no?
These guys have done the work already.
Why no?
These scholars have done the work already. Why should I?
Finish. You're not consistent, Michael. I've said I will do this if you do that, and you've literally said no.
Because I'm going by your scholars.
No. Who's my scholars?
All right, Muslim scholars.
This is a scholar.
No.
So wait a minute. You tried to equate the scholarship behind the NIV, regardless if I agree with it, the NIV or not,
that's not what I'm saying.
to this website.
No. What?
I said I will do my research in this website if you do your research, and you've told me no.
Because these Muslim scholars have already done the research. So why am I going to research the same thing they've done?
And and these Muslim scholars, what's their answer? Thank you.
That it's in. If it wasn't in, they would have changed it on their website.
Who said in? Who?
No, I showed you on the.
Who said in?
This. So remember, this is Dr. Shenaz Sheikh and MS. So these scholars have said.
Is there a website? Is there an email address? Is there an email address?
Probably, but it says who the work is by.
Right. Okay.
No. If you go to the site, just go to. See, this is the acknowledgement.
No problem. So all it means is a quick amount of research. Get the doctor's email address. This verse, blah 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 blah. Okay. Just to summarise, is it figuratively as if, or is that fee literal?
Yeah, but that's not what translators do. They just put the closest English.
So that will be his, and then we'll find out his particular opinion. Okay. Okay. And then go and find out about the understanding of fee with classical Arabic, how many variations there are. And the classical interpretation in terms of the tafsir, is the sun literally setting into the muddy ocean spring like a biscuit into a cup of tea? Or is it figuratively, as I showed you in the translation of the Quran, in brackets, as if?
Yeah, that translation.
As if which takes its interpretation from classical understanding of the verse. That's why it says as if.
Mike, this brother here comes to Speaker's Corner every Sunday.
Right.
If you caught him lying, go and verify.
No, I'm not saying he's lying.
Exactly.
I didn't see.
What you're doing right now, you're making these ad hominem attacks. You're not actually. You keep saying it's unclear, when he's giving clarity.
No.
The best thing you can say is, okay, I'll think about it. I'll research. Be honest and be intelligent. Look, we as Muslims, we cannot lie. If we don't know something, we have to say we
may have been a mistake.
That's it. We have to be honest. If you're asking me a particular question and I don't know, my duty as a Muslim is I don't know. Go and speak to someone with more knowledge. Now, we have that integrity. Come on, just say I'll think about it, I'll research, I'll verify. If I caught him lying, I can expose him.
No, but that's not.
Leave it.
All right. Yeah, might as well call him. All right. See you.
Nice finish, bro. Michael, you're gonna do some extra research. You're gonna do some homework.
No. I'll look see if what other scholars say, and we'll see what the consensus is.
problem.
Yeah.
Thanks
All
for your
right.
time.
Yeah. All right.
Cheers, bro.
All right.
Israelites will return to take down Islam.